How's my fellow creatives? I hope you're doing well today. This is my first creative video for my channel, and I'm excited to share my experiences and my excitement and my enthusiasm for design. I hope that you learned something today, and at the very least you enjoy my videos. So today I'm gonna first of all talk about the extensions I use on a daily basis as a graphic designer, and then I'm also gonna redesign this initial Instagram tile in my brand, so you can see how I approach design. And if you want to follow along, you can follow along. It's going to be designed in Adobe XD. It's not a full tutorial, it's just a quick intro on how I approach design and how I would remake this specific tile. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now to talk about the different extensions that I use. They're not all of the extensions, but pretty much the main extensions. I am a social media graphic designer. I specialize in digital design and also in web development and web design. So these are predominantly some of the things I use. So the first one is WhatFont. So essentially what WhatFont does is when you activate your extension, you can highlight over certain text in websites, and it basically just tells you what the family font is. It's very useful. Obviously you can do inspect and go to compute it, and you can look at what the family font there is, and that's pretty much what it has told you it is. So that's pretty neat. Then the next one I use specifically is eyedropper. So eyedropper it saves your palettes for you, and you can delete it, and you can make new palettes. So if I wanted to make a whole new palette, sorry, that is what fun. I can get a whole palette, and the cool thing about it is this gives you your hex codes, your HSL codes, and your RGB codes. Just really nice. And then you can also save this as a CSV file, which you could potentially then import into your design platforms. The next one you use is image downloader. This is really great when you are working on client sites, but they don't have the capability of giving you photography or images, and essentially the website would be skimmed of its content. This is not a great website to test out, but it gives you images you can download, available images, and you can also download in bulk, so you can select multiples, and then you can give it a folder name, and then wherever you put the folder, that folder name would pop out. Usually it just goes in your downloads file, and then you can just move your folder with its contents into this location you need. Then this is the fun one for inspiration. If you're getting a bit bored of Pinterest, if you need some design inspiration on what is currently trending, this website looks pretty decent at providing that kind of information. They also have their own extension, which I have not signed up for yet, but I just kind of go to the website itself, like I do with most websites, so I can look at what I need to find for inspiration. And then the last one, but not the least, is awesome ChatGPT screenshot. It was originally just called Awesome Screenshot, but I guess they incorporated ChatGPT as of late. Essentially what this does is, if you want to grab a whole website, this allows you to do it. So you can either select the visible parts or full page. It doesn't really have too many limitations on that, but I usually like to grab a full page. It then loads it all up, captures all the content for you in a scrollable format, and then you can do notations on it, resize it, crop it, you can draw on it, whatever you want to do. And then when you're done, you can save this in any format you want. So you can download this as a PNG, for instance, and you can paste it into your XD or Figma artboard, so you can access all of that work for inspiration, layout, designs, whatever you need it for, really. So it's really cool. And then some honorable mentions I like to add if you aren't aware of this. First one is Grammarly. It's got extensions on it, which is really great. When you're on websites, you can access when you design on web applications, it accesses it and it can give you proper grammar examples and how to fix it. And in this one, if you work internationally, this has been helping me quite a bit. Savvy time. So essentially, you can add in time zones. It's right there, a click of a button, and then you can drag your range here, and then you can see what the different times are in. So if you need to figure out where your clients are in their time zones according to your time zone, this could be very helpful. So yeah, now let's get into the design part of this. Okay, so I've gone ahead and grabbed the tile that I want to use as a reference. I will not be recreating this the same style. This is a personal brand that I'm busy working on, and I'm going to be hopefully soon in the future launch this brand. This is the logo I've made for my brand, and then we've got the color palette and everything here. So essentially I'm going to be using this color palette and the design style to redesign this within my style. I will probably be changing some of the wording a little bit if I have to, and maybe see if I can use some different imagery to go with it. I will not be making the full carousel. It's just going to be a tutorial on how to make a specific static image for social media specifically. Let's get into it. Okay, so to get into this, first of all, we would want to make a artboard, right? So because this is kindly in a size that I need, I will literally make an artboard for this specific canvas or example. It's very simple. You just go to your artboard tool there or press A, and then you can drag your artboard out. Within XD, you can click on your artboard and you can give it the background color. So I already have my palette ready, so I'll pick my background color there, and then we need to use some of these elements in conjunction, because if we want to eventually make a slideshow, we need to specify the user interface so people can understand, okay, I need to move this image so that I can go to the next image. So they cleverly use swipe and this arrow here, so we can essentially do the same thing within your own brand. Obviously that would be wise to do. So instead of using swipe, for instance, we can just go swipe right, a bit more human, a bit more welcoming in a sense. And then we can essentially also look at a title for this carousel. So free Chrome extensions, and then let's grab this font here for graphic designers. So what I've done here is I have kind of used some of the copy style there, but I've added in something that social media and consumers love in general, is the word free. The word free sells pretty well, so I wanted to incorporate that so we can see if eventually in the future maybe the algorithm would like that and people would interact with it a lot better. So it's kind of the thought process behind using the word free instead. So I'm just doing a little bit of padding alignment here, because essentially I can eyeball it with my experience, but you try to make a line around all your stuff, so it's kind of like a bleed, for instance. And I just use the text box border to essentially do that. And in XD, if you wanted to make grids, you can just drag from the top and the left hand side and make your grids like that. You can make multiple different layouts if you want. So I'll just make a quick grid layout here that I like to do. Try to put that in the middle. So if you struggle to find the proper middle, what I like to do is just take this box and then find its middle. Which is there. And then you can just delete that box out and that box out because it's more just for guides. So this looks pretty decent. We could make this bigger, so it's a bit more consumable. So make that a little bit bigger, really in your face. We've got some color hierarchy we can change here, so I'm going to use the purple. And then that can stay white. I'm going to keep you, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. And then you see how they used Chrome and extension lead? That's actually really clever. Okay, so I like to use free pick sometimes to get some assets out. So we can go Chrome, extension, logo, extensions, logo. For this purpose it doesn't really matter at the moment, but try and pick something that you can use. Is going to download as a PNG. Make sure when you download it, make sure you check your pixel sizes. This is the biggest, so I'm just going to take the big one and then just put it wherever you want to put it. Okay, so now wherever we've put this, we can go and grab it, grab the logo, and then pop that right in there. Make sure when you have your grids layout that you try and follow it. So we're putting a nice little logo there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the Chrome logo. People recognize the Chrome logo. This is very clever, but I don't want to copy it. That's plagiarism, and that's not really good. And then lastly, if you wanted to add in some links towards yourself, you can follow this. This is a very nice, simple way of putting your stuff out there. So I'm just duplicating these and then follow for more, and then add whatever your Insta tag is really. You can make this smaller so it's not too in your face, but it's still there. It's still call to action. Could probably just do that. And if you want, you can also maybe just put it here. So it's kind of like flowing, right? So you're telling the viewer, oh, look at my bright colors and my beautiful text here. Okay, this is for graphic designers. Okay, and you can follow this person, and then essentially let's swipe right. So if you wanted to enhance this a little bit, you could use a color. For instance, now if you wanted to use the green there, then a Chrome extension I like to use is icons for design. So then we just go arrow, look at an arrow that works for us. So I'm just going to pop that into here. Just size that up, make that purple. If you don't like the arrow, you can always choose a new one, a different one. This might be a little bit better, in my opinion, because it will kind of be used as a underline for this text. I'm gonna do this. Do that. Pop that like that. And put that there. Okay. So we've got the basic layout done. This is pretty much my redesign of this. You know, if you find something works better for you from your competitors, or your viewers like something specifically, try and utilize that a little bit to make it your own. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then all you have to do is just push this live. Make sure you use your relevant hashtags with your content, and a really great description to talk about what you want to talk about. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to redesign this in Figma, leave me a comment, leave me a subscription and a like if you want to see some more. So thank you very much for watching my video.